Hi you guys, this is Jamie with Whatever's Clever Boutique, and today on day 5, if you have followed me, you know that all the white glitters are my favorite. I have a weakness and it is in white glitters, but quite honestly, I need more white glitter like I need more caffeine in my diet. But I have no control, so I'm about to show you some more amazing white glitters, and this one is battling for my favorite inspiration tutorial for this 12 days. So I hope you enjoy this video. So to get started, we're going to use all the white glitters. We have I Do from Chase Ray. We have Chunky Parabatai from Peachy Olive Glitters. We have Frosty from Peachy Olive Glitters. Bougie from Peachy Olive Glitters. Heavenly from Peachy Olive Glitters. Grace XL from Chase Ray Creations. Ice Queen from Chase Ray Creations. This one just came in her mystery box and it has cute little snowflakes in it. And When in Rome from Olive's Glitter Outlet from Peachy Olive Glitters. And of course, we're going to go in with our epoxy method. Don't mind the very unappealing prepped tumbler. It was a tumbler that I scrapped very early on and the paint was flaking, but due to this marbling effect or I shouldn't say marbling, Milky Way type effect I'm going to do on this tumbler, and using all the chunky glitters, I knew you wouldn't see it, so I went ahead and used it for this tumbler. Now to get started on our glittering. There's really no rhyme or reason here. I just kind of went in a swirl pattern. I started with my chunkiest glitter, which was my Ice Queen, because I really wanted those snowflakes to be able to lay down on the tumbler. And the base that I went with for this one was I was doing 2 sections of each color, if that makes sense. So I did one swirl on the front and one on the back. And then I just went in with the next chunkiest, which was Chunky Parabatai, and set that kind of right next to that Ice Queen, so on and so forth. I did that with all of my colors, laying them how I thought that they looked best. Now you can do this however you would like. I took this Heavenly and I actually didn't go all the way down, or all the way, I should say, through the swirl effect with that one. I kind of stopped it halfway on the top and then halfway on the bottom, just trying to give this tumbler some interest. So take your colors, any colors you want. These tumblers are so much fun to make, and just start laying the glitters and you will come out with a beautiful product. My first pass with each glitter was very light. I'm just kind of laying the foundation for how I want my glitters on the tumbler. And then when we go back in with the glitters again, we're going to go in heavier and we're going to start to blend those colors together. And here is our foundation. It's a little rough looking right now, but now we're going to go back in with those glitters and we are going to start laying a heavier coat over top of the tumbler. Now that we have our glitters all laid, I'm going to take my Grace from Chase Ray Creations and I am just going to dump it all over the tumbler. This is going to fill in any gaps or any areas that maybe didn't have as much glitter as another. And it's just going to blend well with all of the colors that are in all of those other glitters. So this basically isn't totally necessary, but I always tend to do this on Milky Ways with a neutral color. Since we have quite a bit of chunky glitter on here, we are going to go ahead and roll our tumbler up in some parchment paper to flatten down all of those glitters. And here is what we have so far. After that's all cured, we're going to go in with 2 coats of our favorite epoxy, and mine is KSRESIN Liquidy Split Ultra UV Epoxy. And you can go in with a 3rd if necessary. If you're still pretty bumpy after 2 coats, feel free to go in with a 3rd. But if you press it down well enough, it should be okay. Now I'm going to take my Southern Belle Glitter Foil Glue, which actually came in this nail polish container, and it was so convenient. And I'm just going to go ahead and brush that sporadically throughout the tumbler. Now the foil isn't going to be a main staple here on this tumbler. It's just going to be little subtle accents. So we're just kind of going sparingly here, but throughout the whole tumbler, if that makes sense. We're going to go ahead and let that dry. It'll be clear and sticky when it's dry. And we're going in with OML. This is so pretty. This is from Southern Belle Glitters. Again, OML is the name. And it's a holographic leopard print that's clear backed. So all you're going to see is that holographic leopard when we put it on the tumbler. So we're going to take that foil sheet that we cut out and we're just going to place that right down on the tumbler and press down and pull up all the way across our tumbler on all those little spots that we applied the adhesive to. And again, it's just a super subtle touch, but I just loved the depth and dimension it added to this tumbler. So feel free to add it, don't add it. You can use a different foil, you can use micas, whatever you'd like, but this was kind of my addition to the Milky Way type swirl. Once we get that all on, we're going to go in with 1 coat of epoxy just to seal that stuff in there before we go in with our vinyl. Now, I took some snowflakes that I got off of Creative Fabrica and I created an offset. So that bottom section there, as you could tell, was the regular snowflake, and the top section there on the holographic is the offset. I did the same thing with some white vinyl as well. So we're going to mix and match here with the holographic and white vinyl, but I just felt that having the offset would really make these snowflakes pop off of this tumbler, since we're almost kind of going with the monochrome effect here, since we're using the holographic and the white over top of the white and silvery holographic glitter that we used. So again, I'm just going to take my offset and lay it down on the tumbler and then place the actual snowflake over top in the opposite color. And I'm gonna do that all the way down. All of those little fine pieces that are in those snowflakes, I waited to weed those until they were on the tumbler. It just made it so much easier than trying to get them off on the backing. And as you can see here, I applied my snowflakes in the swirl pattern the same direction as the swirl is going with the glitter. And once we get those all applied, we're gonna go in with our 2 final coats of epoxy. I am obsessed with this tumbler. I hope you guys love it. This technique can be applied to really any color scheme, any little vinyl accents like leopard print or Dalmatian spot, polka dots, any of that kind of stuff. Hearts, all of it. So I hope you guys love this tutorial. I hope you love the monogram effect. And I did do a glitter booty on this one. As you can see here, I forgot to record, but I will link those tags below. It's the same concept as I've done before. So all of the products will be listed and linked in the description box below with some discount codes. And I will see you tomorrow.